Welcome to Mrs. Pennington's baby development. So you're 6 weeks pregnant. Now what? I can feel within my body, without even looking at a calendar, that I am now 6 weeks pregnant. All of those nausea feelings, those squirmy, terrible early morning feelings, they're here. So generally in the morning, I feel quite sick. My stomach is not happy. The first thing really important to do is to eat something. Before you get a shower, before you start getting dressed, before you really start doing lots of physical activity, eat something. So I'd highly recommend really bland things. So the original yellow box of Cheerios, have some of those. Crackers, very plain cookies like a vanilla wafer, graham crackers, like what else? Some wheat thins that have a little bit of salt on them. Sometimes your body is really wanting a little bit of salt. Little pancakes, a waffle, something very plain, a plain carbohydrate, maybe a piece of toast. I probably wouldn't put anything on it. Eat that first. Then make sure you drink something. If you drink something as soon as you wake up, if you drink water as soon as you wake up, it often makes you feel queasy. So eat something first and then have a bit of water. After you have that base layer of a carbohydrate in your belly, so those crackers, plain Cheerios, a waffle, after you have that in your stomach and you're feeling a little bit better, then you can layer on with the protein. So then I would recommend a boiled egg. You can try some avocado. You might then be able to do a little bit of avocado on toast. Try for a protein of some sort. You might have some cooked ham that you feel like you're okay to eat. Maybe some rotisserie chicken that you had the night before that you can feel okay eating. Try a protein, and then you can just kind of like layer on throughout the day. So try to keep something in your stomach. Little small meals. So have some almonds, some nuts that you feel okay eating. I wouldn't go with the dairy in the morning. Dairy generally makes most people feel quite queasy. By about 2 in the afternoon, if you've done a good job layering your foods, keeping something on your stomach, you generally feel okay and you're able to eat more. And that is when I would try to get in my greens, try to have a bit of salad, try to have a bit of vegetable if you think you can handle that. And that afternoon is when you might even be able to handle a bit of yogurt. See how you feel with milk. Sometimes we can handle it, sometimes we can't. Dairy is great during pregnancy. You might try a bit of cheese, but just be careful with it because it can definitely do a number on the stomach. I'd also be really careful of orange juice. It's very acidic, and that often will really make your stomach queasy. If you're having a really hard time getting in your water, add a bit of juice to it. So do 3/4 a cup. I like a warmer water. That really helps me. So I put like a 3/4 of a cup of like hot water. And I'll do 1/4 of a cup of a juice. So maybe a grape juice. Sometimes there's a mango orange. My stomach does well with that. Sometimes there's like a peach juice or something like that. Lemon probably is a bit too acidic, but try to find something else. There's so many options now with different juices and natural. The coconut water gives you a lot of energy. That's always something I keep in my hospital bag. But that is also something that you can try to have, but definitely try to have a lot of water and then add something to it if it's just making you sick, just drinking that water. So that would be my best advice for the queasy stomach. It's just layer on first thing in the morning, something very basic, a very plain cracker, a very plain biscuit even, something very plain, and then add slowly to that. After you've had that, try to get a bit of protein in, and then just keep going throughout the day. If you're the type of person that gets morning sickness in the late afternoon or in the evening, you probably have not had enough food throughout the day. Try to keep those small meals up. Also, to help you not have as much morning sickness in the morning, after you've had dinner at night, it's usually a couple hours before you go to bed. So have a late something on your stomach. So an hour before bed, have, again, maybe those plain crackers, maybe some Cheerios, maybe a waffle, something else that you feel like you can handle, even some meat if you feel like you can handle that. Try to have something maybe an hour before bed, and that should help you the next morning a bit to not feel quite so queasy. There's also really awesome things. There's Preggie Pops. They're like little candies that are really helpful. A lot of times drinks really help too. So a lot of women will go for a ginger ale or some other type of ginger drink. Virgil's has an amazing ginger drink that I loved with my first. There are lots of different options there. Sometimes a decaf coffee, like just a fourth of a cup, can help your stomach feel a little bit better. A decaf tea. Twinings has a English breakfast decaf, which is awesome. So sometimes I'll have that, even without any sugar in it. Generally, I'm not big into sugar during the first trimester. It's just not something that I'm really wanting. Usually it's salt. Pay attention to what you're really craving. So if you are just dying for some Chinese noodles with tons of salt and sodium, think about what that is and then maybe put some salt on your avocado. Like if your body is really wanting that, think about like, what is it that I want in that? Why am I craving that so much? I really wanted those ramen noodles with my first, which I wouldn't eat because I knew they were really bad for me. But it was the salt that I was wanting. So you can put salt in other things just to add a little bit, or even wheat thins have a lot of salt on them. So that might just be something that helps your stomach. Give yourself a little bit of grace. If you really want something, have a little bit of it. Your body is smart. So often now too, smells pregnant ladies cannot handle. And I really feel like that is a protection for us. If you are somewhere and they have just resurfaced the parking lot, it smells horrible. That's because that's bad for you and baby to breathe in that horrible smell. So move away from that. Be careful with like glues and paints. If there is any fixing up of your house going on where they are using like some intense industrial glue, move away from that area. Like go stay with your mom for a while until that smell is gone. Also, as you start to buy baby products, sometimes there is a major gas off with car seats and things. So you might want to buy those a little early and then take them out of the box and leave them in the garage for a couple of weeks. Just a thought with baby products. Some things really do gas off. We bought like an extra bed, like protective bed cover for the bed with one of my pregnancies, and it smelled horrible when I took it out of the package. It was one of those waterproof bed covers. End up throwing it away. Just be careful with that sort of thing. You definitely want to leave things in the garage and let them gas off. If they're doing some spraying outside or in your office or doing some work and there's just a terrible smell, you really need to move away from that. Go driving somewhere, move away. Don't breathe that in. If it's really making you feel sick, then that is bad for you and baby. I feel like our bodies are really smart. The stuff that really makes us not feel well, we need to move away from. And the stuff that we're craving or desiring to eat, unless it's pica. So pica is something when pregnant women really desire to eat non-edible items like chalk or dirt or paint. And that is simply you're not getting enough nutrition. So if that is something you're experiencing, really talk to your health professional, but also get on some good multivitamins and really get your veggies in there somehow. Get your nutrition up. Your body is really craving like good nutritious food, but it's not getting it for whatever reason. If you're a vegetarian, you really need to work with a dietitian in your pregnancy to make sure that you are getting everything you need and that your baby needs. And also while you're nursing, there's things that really you need to have in your body in order to then feed your child. So if you are very dedicated at being a vegetarian all throughout your pregnancy, then you really need to work with a dietitian who is used to working with pregnant ladies. Or baby will leach from your body what it needs, and you will see it in your face. You will see it in your skin. You will see it in your own body and your teeth. Baby will take what baby needs during pregnancy. So make sure you keep those multivitamins up, or baby will just leach that from your body. Another good way to get in good nutrition is soups. So make some good soup during this time. Get some good chicken broth, some good bone broth, put a bit of meat in there. Your basic soup additives are potato, carrot, and celery, and then you can add whatever you want into that after. You can do some parsnips, you can do some turnips, You can do some chives. You can even do some kale, like anything in there. That is a great way. I usually will use like a half a bottle of an organic red wine in there as well, along with my soup base. I'll either get some beef or some lamb and just cook that in and do a nice stew. That is a great thing to eat during pregnancy. Or just buy like some really good like lentil soup. That is a great way to get your nutrition in, and that's generally something you can probably eat in the afternoon. You might not feel like eating it right when you wake up, but in the afternoon when you're feeling a little bit better, that's definitely the time to get that good nutrition in. So congratulations on your pregnancy and making it to week 6.